Hey guys, common question that we get is about parenting, and so I just wanted to address that and talk to you about the four most important things that I see in order to raise addiction resilient children. So let's talk about them. Let's break them down. First off, first thing is let your kids feel. And what that means is allow them to experience their emotions instead of shutting them down all the time. And believe me, I have 4 kids. I know kids are emotional, and it doesn't mean to let them scream and yell and do whatever they want all the time. But what it does mean is to validate their emotion and empathize with them and let them know that it's okay to have emotion. And so when they experience something, instead of just telling them to get over it or to shut up or anything like that, just notice it with them. Get mindful with them of what they're feeling. Help that emotion teach them and teach them what that emotion is saying to them. And so let your kids feel. Don't throw numb outs all the time at your kids. And so things like iPads and phones and TVs, and it's okay for them to obviously have some screen time. But if they're constantly just numbing out and avoiding life, then you're actually raising an addict. You're raising somebody who is used to just not feeling and numbing out. So allow your kids to feel, allow them to work through things when they play with other kids, so that they can learn how to feel and how to notice their emotions. One thing I do with my wife and my kids is we have what's called Emotion of the Week. Now, if that doesn't sound like a therapist thing, I don't know what does, but Emotion of the Week. So we take an emotion, a good or bad emotion, and we talk about it, we learn about it, we notice it when it comes up with our kids, and it's really helpful. And so let your kids feel, let your kids experience emotions so they don't learn how to numb out their emotions. Secondly, have healthy connection and attachment. Helping them form a sense of self and understanding of their self-worth is really important. And you as a parent play a huge role in that, as you attach in a healthy way to them. If your attachment is unhealthy, you're going to skew their sense of self in a lot of ways. And I realize as I talk about these things, it's going to bring up a lot of parent guilt, and believe me, all of us parents are screwing up in some ways. But the better we can notice this stuff, the better our kids will be. And so when I talk about healthy attachment, what that means is, as their parent, you are there to help them understand that they're lovable, that they're powerful, that they're sons and daughters of God. And what you don't want to do is turn your kids into things that you use for your own validation. And your unhealthy attachment looks like over-attaching and getting your validation and your sense of purpose and self from them. That puts a lot of pressure on them. It causes a lot of shame. Disconnecting completely and not having any attachment and just having it be chaotic and letting them do their thing and not being involved in their lives, that's another way to not attach in a healthy way. And so healthy attachment looks like empathizing with them, supporting them, being involved in their lives, but having a sense of your own self-worth and your own boundaries, that you can detach from them enough so that they can be them, and so that it's interdependency in that relationship with your children. It's really important because it will nurture a sense of self-worth for them. Next is teach by example. You can't take a course and get the answers from a therapist and say, okay, I need to do A, B, and C, and then my kids will be good. The best way to teach them is to be a good example for them. And so if you're numbing out all the time and you're disconnected and you're not dealing with your own emotions, but then you're saying to your kids, hey, learn how to deal with your emotions and don't numb out, they're not going to learn that. So look at your own life, get as healthy as you can be, work through your own addictions and your own shame, and that's what will teach your children. You will model to them how to deal with life, and they'll automatically start to take that on. So your example is really, really important. The last thing is structure and flexibility. You want to have your family adaptability is what we call it. You want to have it be healthy, which is somewhere in between structure and flexibility. If your family adaptability is very rigid, that's not healthy. What that does is it sends a message to them of you're not important, the rules of this house are important, and so shut up and fall in line, and that causes a lot of shame. On the other end of that is chaos, where there's no structure at all, and that deteriorates safety. A child has a hard time getting a sense of the world around them when there is just chaos and there's no rules and there's no structure. And so it's really helpful if you have some flexibility where you can allow for some things to shift and change, but you also have some solid structure as well. And as a parent, that's really hard because we can often feel like we're always screwing up. We're either being too rigid or too chaotic, but we're finding a balance there is the goal. And if you find that balance that's healthy, it's going to support your kids to be them and to be healthy. And so those are the 4 things, you guys, that I think will really help your children be resilient to addiction. I hope you found this helpful. I hope it didn't trigger too much parent shame and guilt. And if you're not good at some of this stuff, then hopefully you can check it out and look at yourself and say, okay, I can shift some of these things and make some positive changes.